Hi, my name is Arjun Bahl. I am the co-founder of st+art India Foundation, a public art foundation working to democratize art and taking art out of the gallery spaces, museums, into public spaces. Our work involves local communities at the center of all art projects. Firstly, I would like to thank the team of ADFF and STEER, and in particular, Amit, Samta, Ranjana, for giving me the opportunity to present in honor of our late brother and partner, Hanif Kureshi. I am here as I will be speaking in prelude to the film, a very special project which was executed in Egypt's capital city, Cairo, by a dear friend, Al-Sid. Born in 1981, is a French-Tunisian calligraphy artist and a muralist, whose work features Arabic language through graffiti and sometimes also referred as calligraffiti. Hanif and Al-Sid have many similarities. Let's start with the fact that they both loved and worked with type and text, or typography. They also both worked with spray cans and were mural and graffiti artists. While Hanif explored the Indian scripts and worked with vernacular art forms, Al-Sid worked in Arabic text. Their expression using type forms were large or maybe even sometimes small in the public spaces in terms of public art. There is this power when you work with typography or text on the streets, the power of connecting people. It provides expression, brings in nostalgia, and of course, the letter forms amaze and intrigue people. I'll also play some slides while we speak, so you guys get some text, some context to the works. This is Al-Sid's works, and you can see what his forms were. That's his studio in Dubai. And that's Hanif's works. Again, both use the public spaces to do their expressions. Hanif also worked on a proverb project in Goa and many other places. This is at the Lodi Art District. And this is a collaboration between Hanif, Painter Kafil, and Lekin Sowat. So 3 artists came together to do that. A French artist and 2 Indian artists. And for Holi, in fact, we created a temporary kind of a rangoli which says, "We love color." And that's one of the largest typographic projects in India on the jails of Tihar. And that's Hanif showcasing the work of his and other sign painters at the Southbank Center in London. And that's us, actually, in 2022 at Al-Sid's studio, which is an artist Hanif really, really loved. One of the wish Hanif had was to bring Al-Sid to India. It's just that we still haven't, or still haven't, in fact, found the right project for him as yet. And hopefully, after today's conversation, we will manifest something in the future. The film titled Perspective, which we are about to see right now, was shot in Mansiat Nasr, sometimes called the Christian suburb, is one of the 9 districts that make up the western area of Cairo, Egypt. It covers approximately 5.5 square kilometers. The area's population is about 66,000 Coptics Christians, and a staggering 70% of the city's trash is collected here by this community. The process of collecting, segregating, sorting of trash, compacting it, breaking it down, packing it in lots, sending it for further recycling to factories is all done here. While this work may seem menial, but just imagine if this community of people didn't pick up the garbage in the city for 3 days, what would happen to our city? This is not only important for the city dwellers and its citizens, but also for the rag pickers, as it provides a source of income and sustainability through which they are able to pay for their own needs and make way and hope for a future for their kids' education. Al-Sid's intervention in Cairo is similar to our projects, where we strive to work with communities to bring together the artists, the community, in order to create project. In our first festival, I still remember Hanif and our team's undying spirit in knocking on every door at St+art and Hoskas village to seek permissions to paint a mural. I'll just show you a very short clip of what that process entailed.
One day, me, Anpu, Amitabh, we all three of us came to St+art. We spent half a day here, knocking people's door, asking for permission. Someone's at home, someone's not at home. We would call someone, follow up with someone. And by doing all that, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and now we have 20 walls.
This video is amazing, but I won't take more time of yours because there are many more things. So the process was literally like that. It was a very DIY, very raw process, which over the years we've obviously tried to refine. But this was the spirit of us doing our first festival and our first engagement in 2014. While requesting for permissions, the local communities were somewhat suspicious. There was negotiations, there was resistance. They initially thought that we were from Coca-Cola and here to paint the advertisements. However, after hanging with the community, interacting with them on a daily basis, them seeing artists work every day, be it rain or sunshine, changed their perception. And from resistance, it became friendship very fast, getting us tea and sharing hospitality. I still remember in St+art, an artist who had regularly interacted with a particular boy from the community was seen crying. Upon probing, the boy had lost his dog. And the next day, the artist did something very special. He went to the child's house in the outside facade of the wall, and he painted the same dog. And that expression for that boy was priceless. There was so much joy, there was so much love. I still remember that day. Therefore, it's always about gaining the trust of the community, integrating them to be part of the painting process. It brings in also a sense of ownership for the community. Our work, I say sometimes, is more about social engagement than of aesthetics. And just another example of us, how do we engage with the communities?
औपचारिक रूप से भारत के पहले पब्लिक आर्ट डिस्ट्रिक्ट का दर्जा दिया गया है और हम आप सबके सहयोग के लिए आभारी हैं। आने वाले महीनों में आपके अद्भुत मोहल्ले में हम नई कलाकारी प्रस्तुत करने जा रहे हैं। लोधी कॉलोनी के बच्चों और बड़ों के लिए कई प्रकार की गतिविधियों के लिए मानचित्र बनाना चाहते हैं, जिसके लिए आपके सुझाव बहुत ज़रूरी साबित होंगे। हमारी टीम के सदस्य परिचय और बातचीत के माध्यम से आपसे संपर्क करेंगे। लोधी कॉलोनी जन कला उत्सव के व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में शामिल होने के लिए नंबर भी बताऊँगी क्या हो? ठीक है, 8356956016 पर मैसेज कीजिए। जल्दी ही मिलते हैं फिर। ठीक है।
आर्ट फॉर ऑल। आज हम लोधी कॉलोनी के हरिजन कैंप में लोगों के बीच पहल करने आए हैं। अच्छा। आप सबके मोहल्ले में फिर से स्टार्ट संस्था के साथ एक जन उत्सव होने जा रहा है, जिसमें हम सबको शामिल करना चाहते हैं।
गाने और डांस का भी प्रोग्राम होगा।
ठीक है।
तो अगर आप आ सकते हो और आप इंटरेस्टेड हो तो हमारे पास हमारा फ़ोन नंबर है।
किस तरीके की चीज़ें आप लोग देखना चाहेंगे यहाँ पे? अगर हम एक दीवार करते हैं आप लोगों के साथ तो किस तरीके की चीज़ें आप देखना चाहेंगे उसमें? तो वो कल आएगा। तो ये अभी बस आपको थोड़ा इंट्रोडक्शन है, पढ़िए। ठीक।
उसे साइन पेंटिंग कहते हैं। उसको हम लोग इंग्लिश में टाइपोग्राफी कहते हैं। जो टाइपोग्राफी है वो सारा लिखित जो काम होता है वो। अब वो जब यहाँ आए तो अगर फ्रेंच आर्टिस्ट ने देखा तो कलर
पहले ऐसी रहती थी गंदी गंदी सी दीवारें, कम से कम अच्छी तो लगती है वो देखने में, और अपने भारत में एक तरीके से फॉरेन लुक आ रही है।
And that was somehow how we reached out. I did our first reach outs to the community. This was in the Lodi Art District. I think this was in 2016 or 17. And that's the process we more or less follow now, of engaging them, seeing what they want to do, seeing if they want to be a part of the process. Do they want to paint? Can they tell us stories? Do they know how to mix colors? Can they tell us some of the pain points which we can help remove through art? And that was about it. And that was 2014, all of this, more or less, 2017 and before. And these were early days of our starting. And Hanif's vision and ideas were always out there and central to our workings. Talking about his vision, I would like to focus now a little bit more on Hanif's practice. Hanif started with painting scooter number plates with local sign painters in his hometown in Gujarat, a place called Pali Thana. After finishing his art degree at MSU Baroda, he started working in advertising. And it was at V. Sunil was setting up Wyden and Kennedy, which brought him to Delhi. And this was a pretty important point in Hanif's life. And this is actually when I also met him. Since his early teens, and as shown before, he was always intrigued with artists who would paint the local, like the local Jew centers, which made him create hand-painted type, a type foundry which encourages works and documents the works of sign painters by making their unique sign paint styles into actual fonts which people can buy. Sorry, this was more of the community-based works which we've done, and working with various kinds of differently abled communities as well, and kids. I'll go to the sign painters. So these are the Jew centers which Hanif was very intrigued by, and they were all painted by hand. Now, unfortunately, it's digital, it's flex. And this is the font Hanif co-developed with painter Kafil, which has become a very popular font. I'm sure you see in restaurants and at places. And these are some of the ways it could be used. And also at the Fortune 500 magazine cover. And then, of course, he developed his fonts even more. And these are some of the other projects beyond. In fact, this one was his latest interventions which he did for the gallery as his gallery works. Again, using the Urdu script. And these are some of his other works. This was in Kona in 2017 at Lodi Art District, a place close to Lodi Art District and a place in Jorbagh, where he worked with these kind of thermocol balls and he created something. That's our man right there. This is another collaboration with another artist called Georgia Hill at the Lodi Art District in 2019. This is at Sasandok in 2017, where he played with the idea of smell. Sasandok, as we all know, has a little bit of smell, and he wanted to transform you to not smell that. In fact, he wanted you to start smelling other things. So, mom's cooking, tram, the first monsoon rain. And these are other things and type forms which he kind of explored. This is still there at Reclamation. And in fact, the typographic sculptures became pretty popular across the country. And this was in fact at Steer with Amit and Shiva was the collaborator in this case. And over here we also have Sumant, who enabled this project, and Hanif co-designed this with Sumant for the London Design Biennale, the Indian Pavilion. Again, these are all pictures he's taken across all his travels of signboards, juice centers, of something which he found interesting. He printed them, he put them in the embroidery hoops and created this beautiful spatial work. And this is a photo booth he did at the Serendipity Arts Festival. In fact, today I was struggling putting pictures because there's so much work he's done, and I didn't know which one to show. And Hanif, working with text, also worked with shadows. He loved the idea of shadows. I think it was in 2012, he did a project at the Kochi Biennale, where it said time travels, but I just put a few time-lapse videos for you to see. This was a commissioned project though for YSL. So at 11 a.m. you start seeing these characters coming, these letter forms coming in, and by 3 o'clock they go away. This was during COVID. It was designed and mapped out according to sun's alignment, sitting in Delhi, and it was executed remotely. Or this was in Las Vegas. His medium was about time. I mean, he loved talking about time. And this was at the Fontainebleau. Again, the similar kind of a treatment and technique. So he was very good at this. He got it, and he was very confident of doing large-scale works. He knew they'll work somehow or the other. He always had the confidence that he'll know he'll work. This is in fact in Kanaginagar, one of our art districts in Chennai. And there is a huge water problem over there. So every morning you see these women with their colorful lotas waiting for the water tanker to come. And he's tried to show that through this work. This is again a very beautiful project, again doing a large question mark with 3 lakh plastic bottles at the Hussain Sagar Lake. And you can see the scale of it, and at night they would be lit by solar panels and solar lights. And then he also had fun on the streets, right? He said, relax, I'm not selling anything at a red light in Hyderabad. Hello, my name is Daku and nice to meet you. Yeah, and you know, and this makes his life and his artistic practice even more ironical. As you might know, I mean, like which I've showed you, you know, he's been experimenting, talking about the theory of time. And one of his last public art temporary installations was at the Lodi Art District. And literally a few months before his diagnosis title, "Time is all we have is time." Wonder did Hanif actually start sensing even before he's tested. When time wasn't on his side, he understood that pretty fast. He was hopeful for the future. And with this hope, he created something really beautiful. This was, in fact, a few months ago. And he started working on a series of public art projects, and this time in Sweden. Summer is all about sun in Sweden, and on 7 locations, the number 7 carries great weight for Hanif. 7 fountains, 7 colors of the rainbow, 7 days of the week, 7 deadly sins, 7 wonders of the world, 7 energy chakras of our own human body. So on the Swarthan River, he created an artificial rainbow, like the rays of life itself. The artwork was titled Hope. I often look back and express that his current situation, I wonder how he expressed his current situation as part of his performance. Was this all part of his performance? And then going forward, you know, I mean, this is the experiment. You can see how he created the artificial rainbows. Here's some of the pictures I could find. And then, you know, us creating this foundation, working with us, we are five co-founders, and doing hundreds of projects. It's been a pretty crazy journey. It's been 10 years now. It's 7 exhibitions or something like that. 29 cities we worked in India. Almost 28 festivals, 600 plus art projects, and engaged with probably 500 plus artists. And that's where we are right now in terms of what we do. And all of it, Hanif has been an inspiration in this and has taught the team and all of us actually how to go about these things. His simplicity of thought was beautiful. And beyond art, I've just showed you the art part. You know, we run an agency called Gorilla, and he's created iconic brands like Social, where he's done almost 50 plus restaurants. He's reimagined Taco Bell's, which in fact has become a global playbook, and he's executed over 40 restaurants over there. We've done probably 100 plus for hospitality projects, done spatial designs for big brands from Facebook to Adidas, and working on design research projects for Asian Paints and creating the latest textures which we all have now in the royal play business. Hanif was a visionary and very unique. He understood the business of art, design, and commerce. And just to end this kind of conversation, I just wanted to show you a 90-second video, I think. It's of Sasan Dog. This was our last project in Mumbai, our last big project in Mumbai. I think that's it from me, and I hope you see some parallels now for the next film of Alseed, Perception. It's a beautiful film, must watch. Thank you very much for your time.